What's going on, guys? How you doing? Still over here on my The Cure kick, which is now about to be 2 songs deep. And I've decided to check out what's on their following record, which is Faith. Okay, this is from 1981, and the single here is Primary. So that's what we're going to check out right now, is Primary. Let's get into it. Bam. This is like all bass. It's a drummer, but it's very like drum machine-y. Does that make sense? This is just like 2 basses going on? Is that what's happening here? Wow. Okay. All right. That's interesting. I like the other song better, I think, but this is different. This is yeah, this is different. Yeah, I think I definitely like the other song better. This still sounds very low budget. They're still in that low budget phase. Okay, so Faith, their third album, 1981, saw the band continuing in their gloomy vein of their previous effort, 17 Seconds. Stylistic theme would conclude with their next album, Pornography, 1982. Seeded by the single Primary, the album was well received by critics and was a commercial success in the UK. Following the tour for 17 Seconds, The Cure returned to Morgan Studios. Matthew Hartley, this was the keys player, right? Yeah. Who departed due to a disagreement with the musical direction of the band. During this session, recordings of songs, All Cats Are Grey and Primary, were attempted, but neither ended up on the album. Robert Smith was hoping the tracks would sound funereal. Wow. But instead, he said they just sounded dull. Several other studios were tried, Redbus, Trident, the Roundhouse, and Abbey Road. Much of Faith was written in the studio. Tolhurst says, we had been on the road constantly, switching between recording an album and touring. At least 2 songs on the album, All Cats Are Grey and The Drowning Man, were inspired by the Gormenghast novels of Maverne Peake. Faith was the first album by The Cure to feature a 6-string bass guitar, All Cats Are Grey, for which drummer Lawrence Tolhurst has claimed a rare lyric writing credit. Features Smith on keyboards and piano with no guitar at all. Faith divided critics upon release. This guy wrote that while the more up-tempo songs Primary and Doubt were reminiscent of The Cure's previous work with a sense of strong, haunting melody, the remainder of the album marked a stark departure for the band. A new-ish sense of smudged melody, soft tones flowing around a languorous, groaning bass, and found that the band's new sound evokes 60s acts such as Pink Floyd and The Doors. Gill remarked that listening to Faith requires a personal active involvement. Is he talking about prog? Personal active involvement. The reward being a sense of belonging. Okay. Yeah, you could say that about prog music too, for sure. Jeez. Deemed the record impressive, praising its richness and deceptive power. Described Faith as a sophisticated exercise in atmosphere and production. Adding, it's gloomy but frequently majestic, never using brute force where auto-suggestion will do. You may not love it, but you'll become addicted to it. Despite some rather stilted lyrics, The Cure continued to develop one of the most individual and pleasing styles around. Gloomy, gothic, Us album says absolutely nothing meaningful and dismissed it as the modern face of Pink Floydism. The Cure remains stuck in the hackneyed doom-mongering that should have died with Joy Division. Yeah, there is a little bit of that type of feel. And Pan Faith is hollow, shallow, pretentious, meaningless, self-important, and bereft of any real hurt or soul. A depressing record, certainly, but also one of the most underrated and beautiful albums The Cure put together. One of the 20 best goth records ever made. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, it's just these 3 guys. There was no keys. Yeah. And that song seemed like it was just 2 basses, right? I mean, at least that's what they're showing. It did sound like that. It was very drony, very just like E drone, A drone, E drone, right? Where it's like that kind of playing where you can drone that and then you can play the higher on the next string, the higher note on the next string, and just move around on that while the lower string is just droning, pedaling, all that. It was okay. I mean, stylistically, it makes sense. There wasn't really much melodically to me. It probably was more about the lyrics, which I'm not going to get into because I don't do that. But it was fine. I definitely liked The Forest better. Forest was definitely like the vibe. It was more interesting. There's more for me to kind of grab onto in that song. This song was a bit more, or at least it felt, again, this is just my first listen, literally. It felt a little bit more simplistic, a little bit more raw, definitely. A little more raw. This sounds more raw than A Forest. A Forest sounds raw in the production sense. This sounds raw both in the production sense and in the writing sense, just kind of more overall raw, which does make it kind of cool. I didn't dislike it. I didn't dislike it. I just liked The Forest better. So cool. There it is. All right. Interesting. I'm getting a little bit more of the sound, right? And the vibe and the feel. It's cool. Dig it. All right. Awesome. There it is. Thank you guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Later.